one to a new live stream. Now, I know I've been not posting as much, especially live stream, but also just other content as I used to for the past week or so. And this is mainly for two reasons. The first one is that my entire fish room has had a lot of change, and I needed to spend a lot of time monitoring this, so just observing and making sure everything is good, but also because I spent time on other personal um, project, as well as just spending time with my friends and family. So the first thing I want to do for this live stream is to do a little minute of silence, because one of our really deepest friend, Gideon, is not able to comment on this live stream right now. So a big minute of silence for him not being able to actually comment. He said he's going to start soon to be back, but his presence will be missed. So let's do a little minute of silence for him. Okay, well, that wasn't really a minute, but it was long and awkward enough for me to stop it. So, anyway, I have quite a lot of update for the ant keeping and insect keeping for this live stream, basically. Um, as you all might have seen in my one of my latest videos, I do not have a big vivarium outside anymore. Since we are in September, the insect, they are kind of preparing themselves slowly but surely to hibernate, because where I live it gets really cold in winter, and insect and other animal, even animal as big as a bear, they need to hide and sleep, thing that human should do, but we don't. So what I've did is I release most of the insect of my collection outside, but the one that I hello NG, but yeah, so the one I haven't released, I have kept in this jar. So mainly a colony of Isopod. And the doing I did so is because I want to continue to breed and reproduce some of them for purpose of feeding my ant colony, as well as some of my fish. So I want to have a clean source of food that I don't always have to go outside to catch, especially as I said, in winter you cannot really do that, and I don't want to deal with crickets or mealworm, because they do a lot of noise, and I don't want that, and I don't want them to escape. So I created this jar, and I transformed this jar to be able to do such a thing. Um, Now, one big thing I want to also address for all of you. Hello, Silas. Wait, I thought you wouldn't be able to comment. Are you another person? Dun, dun, dun. All right, so another, like, one of the main thing I want to talk about today is the birth of the second worker. And it has been a few days now since the second worker of my colony have been born, but I'm not sure if I've ever filmed. But as you can see, the smaller one is obviously Antoinette, and the other big ant in there, apart from, of course, Queen Anne, that is the new worker name. So the new worker, its name is Antonio. Yeah. So that's a very big news. As you can see, we also have some nymph, and like last week or something, Queen Anne have laid 4 new eggs, and now the eggs have just recently hatched. So this is a very, very interesting moment for this colony. For the past week, nothing really have changed apart from the birth of the new ant. They have been extremely reclusive, but just now they are starting to evolve in their behavior. But I guess the colder time outside have affected their behavior somewhat. Um, because you know what, 2 or 3 weeks ago it was really hot in here, because in Canada we had like a very hot wave, I guess. So that have done a bit of an impact on my ends. But now my room temperature is about 20 Celsius. So yeah, compared to 25 Celsius, since ants they are cold blooded for the most part, they do get slower when it's get colder. And right now it's all gray and cold outside. So yeah. Um, so that is one of the major of update for today's episode. But other updates are the fact that I have put a lot of moss in the enclosure, replacing the wood chip because I wanted to see how much the ants actually would go in the ant world. Um, so as you can see, a lot of if we look at here. So previously this week, all of this was filled up with a lot of wood chips, but now all the wood chips are actually outside. So the ants have at least come out to this point, but I'm not sure if they have reached the sugar or the protein yet. And obviously, I just wanted to use the moss that I had for this. I think moss is a great way for ants to just drink their water. And also, I had a lot of problem in the enclosure, especially in these 3 section where there was a lot of moisture all across the floors and the walls of these 3 level of the ant tower. So I wasn't able to actually see as much as I wanted to see. Um, so I'm glad this problem is no more. Now, over here, we have a few test tube. So one of them you will recognize. Was it this one? Yeah, this one. So is it? No, that's not this one. So this ant right here, you will recognize her. This is Queen Elizabeth. I've discovered that she was a new Caridina. If we can zoom on her. Okay, let me try to check her out, but from the other side. So yeah, this is obviously Queen Elizabeth, my new Caridina. No, sorry, my neo Lasius Niger. I'm sorry, I hold a habit. So yeah, this is a Lasius neo Niger. I've been busy for the last week and so trying to identify this ant, and I've actually joined 2 Facebook groups. So one being Ant Canada, and the other one being Ant Quebec. So since I live in Quebec and in Canada, this is why. So this is obviously the first queen we caught, apart from Queen Anne and the 2 virgin ants that died sadly. So this one, she haven't laid any eggs. Apart from this neo Lasius Niger, I also caught Queen Margaret. So this ant, according to the group I followed, and this very specific ant is also a queen, but she is a parasitic queen. And this is super duper interesting and super weird. So, this type of ant, they actually rely on other established colonies to raise their own children. So, they basically make another species of ant take care of their own child. So, they need to parasitically interact with other other species of ants to even survive. So this ant, since I don't have a good enough established colony right now to help her raise her child, I will have to release or yeah, I'm probably going to have to release this ant because I cannot properly take care of her because all my colonies are too small for her to you know parasite. But I found that very interesting, and I'm really glad that I joined a Facebook group to know what this was. So this is a species of Formica, and again, a parasite. So very interesting. If I'm wrong, let me know. But that's what I've learned so far. So very interesting. And I also caught a third queen, apart from Queen Anne, obviously being my big major colony. Um, so we have Queen Elizabeth, we have Queen Margaret, we have Queen Anne, and this is Queen Mary, and she is in my biggest like test tube, and she haven't laid egg so far. So none of the other three queen have laid eggs so far, but this one is very beautiful. She's kind of a red species, and the three smaller queen are really much smaller than my Campanotus. Um, but yeah, so this is Queen Mary. I gave them all some English queen names just because I wanted to continue in this I don't know, in this trend, I guess. But yeah, it's very interesting. None of these three new queens have laid eggs so far. So we are left with hoping that they are actually like fertile. Because if they aren't, they will only lay males. That's what I've learned from a new video of Ant Canada. So I strongly suggest if you want to learn as fast as I do to continue watching Ant Canada. That's where I get most of my information anyway. But yeah, it is very interesting to know that only my Queen Anne have laid eggs so far, and that she's the only queen who is frankly successful out of four. So where did I cut the new queens? Well, I was doing a camping trip, and basically right now in this moment of the year, it is very fairly easy to catch queens. You always want to have a test tube with you because these queens, they are basically flying outside of their nest when winter is close. Contrarily to the Campanotus like Queen Anne that do their like flight and their nuptial flight during spring, which is, in my opinion, way smarter of an option. You can kind of start growing your colony during the summer, and then when winter comes, you're ready to hibernate far more. It's far less dangerous this way, but ants are ants. I don't always understand them, but I try my best. So these are, for the most part, the major updates. Um, since Queen Anne have not been super active for the past few weeks, I honestly have watched her a bit less. than before, just because I'm really waiting for the third worker, and I'm also waiting for, I guess, the more active phase where they are going to explore a bit more. Um, and I'm guessing that's going to come soon. But right now, they are fairly inactive and reclusive, dare I say it. So I'm not sure if it's only just because I watch them most of the time during the night instead of during the day. So right now, um, I don't usually spend a lot of time at this point of the day watching my ants. So maybe I am missing out on some of the actions that this colony have to offer. But wait, where is the? Oh, okay, yeah, she's coming back. um, but yeah, since Queen Anne have decided to live a lot like in this region, and this is kind of blocked from the other side, I haven't been able to observe her as well as I used to. So that had a negative impact on my watching of the ants. But honestly, it's really interesting. I'm just waiting for more action to occur. The colony is doing well. It's just that right now, it's been like ever since the new worker have laid, the larvae haven't grown much bigger. The big nymph, the big cocoon, it haven't burst into a new worker, so it's kind of a stalemate, which is interesting. It has been a stalemate for the 7th of September to the now we are the 14th, so an entire week without a lot going on apart from the eggs hatching. So egg hatching is a major thing. It's just that I'm really surprised how long it take for this colony to grow. I'm not sure if it's the same case in the wild or if it's just in my environment provided. But you know, one big thing I did for this colony is, and you can kind of see him right there. I've placed the first living food in this enclosure, so live isopod. And so far, the ants are actually scared of the isopod because their colony is so small, they really don't want to fight or chase food. So I'm assuming in the wild, at this early stage, either the ants don't even start looking for food yet, or if they do, they are not trying to hunt, they are only trying to scavenge. So um, what we can learn from this is that an ant colony takes a lot of stage and a lot of time to develop into a big working army. Let's say it. Ants are an army, very adapted to do several type of tasks, such as taking care of youngs, searching for food, and building altogether. But they are, for the most part, a very strong force of nature. But not at this early stage. At this early stage, uh, it seems that they know how weak they are, so they don't want to waste any time or any life trying to fight something too big. They don't even want to fight. Um, and that's a very interesting thing. You would think that a young colony would try to create big soldiers almost immediately to try to protect. But at this point, they are relying on stealth instead of the defense or later on offense. So this is very interesting, at least for me. um, but again, it shows that ants are way stronger in numbers. They all their strategy is based on building the bigger number the quickest possible. A single individual ant is not a threat. It is preyed upon by many creatures. but it's when a single ant is a part of a big group that the ant colony become a force to be reckoned with, um, or rather, a force not to be reckoned with. So it is extremely interesting, and it is kind of a life lesson. Um, and when we look at it, um, most of the time I try to draw a conclusion from our own human evolution, admitting that we come from evolution. Maybe God created us, or maybe several gods created us, or maybe um, God doesn't exist. I'm not going to dictate what anyone should think. I think the beauty of life is not knowing all the answers, uh, but trying to answer some of the questions, the fundamental questions. And when we look at a small tribe of ants like this, we can really kind of, in a weird way, glimpse back at what human used to look like. It's like seeing an ant colony grow is pretty much seeing how our own civilization have grown over the years and over the millions of years, I guess. From our humble beginning as a little family group to a entire society that is able to such greatness but also such destruction. So, for me, one of the main reason why I like to watch ants is exactly for this. It's like a miniature civilization unfolding in front of my eyes and in front of all of your eyes. I draw a lot of conclusion from my observation, but I will admit I don't have all the answers. I actually don't have many answers. I only have a few speculative ones. But everyone is always free to either disagree with me or hypothesize with me. Both of what you want to do is, in my eyes and opinion, a valid observation. And all your point of views are also valid to me. Obviously, we all see things differently, just like the ants. But one thing is for sure, though, these little creatures, they are really adapted well to life on Earth. And they have been for millions of years, and they will still be here for a million of years after we are gone. Uh, I genuinely think that ants might be one of the species benefiting from our presence in this world. Not all species of ants, but a few selected species, they are really adapted to living in proximity with humans, and they are actually able to colonize lands that would never been in their reach because of us. I'm obviously talking here about the invasive species such as the Argentina ants as well as the fire ants. Those species of ants have been able to cross the border of their original lands, and they are able to really conquer most of the continents by now. And this is very dangerous for many reasons, but it is also interesting when we, just take everything into perspective. If we detach ourselves from our responsibility of, basically human being, we are kind of screwing up in many ways. But if we, hello, Liberty Cichlids, I'm doing pretty well watching my ants grow. But yeah, so if we imagine that planet Earth, is just a sandbox where things happen for no particular reason, um, seeing that the some species of ants are actually able to colonize this said sandbox because of human being activities, it is fairly interesting. It is in reality extremely sad to see a lot of loss of biodiversity, but ants are, of course, part of this bio activity, and they are going to benefit from our presence on Earth. And when we are gone, I'm pretty sure some species of ants will still survive. Not all of them, because right now basically with mixing all the ecosystem, um, we have we have really kind of wrecked the balance of things. Um, but I see life as it is. I see it as a force always, like, I don't know, I guess it's my own point of view, but I always see life trying to evolve and adapt to new outcomes. So our short presence on planet Earth has certainly been destructive for many creatures and biodiversity, but in the greater scheme of things, maybe our presence on Earth was to reduce biodiversity, but create creatures more efficient. All right, be right back. Liberty Cichlids. All right. So it is my humble opinion. You can disagree with me, you can agree with me, or you can agree with some of the things that I said. Sometime I guess I'm just trying to reassure myself that human being was not a complete failure and mistake. But in a weird way, when I watch my ends, I do believe that we were an experiment, an attempt of planet Earth and Mother Nature, I guess, to create a bigger ant and trying to see if it could work. Because ants, they have been very small and very numerous for many million of years. And honestly, I would have thought that if ants were bigger than they are right now, they would completely devastate the world. And the reason why I think that is because us human are pretty much the like most similar thing we have to ants on a bigger scale. And yeah, we have been able to outrun most of the other creatures on this planet. And by doing this, we have proven, I guess, that we are able to change our environment quite a lot, but in a destructive way. I'm not sure exactly where I'm going with all of this hypothesis, but all I'm saying is maybe ants, there is a reason why they are so small, and it is because if they were big enough, they would wreck everything. So they have been, I guess, nerfed to be so small, just because if they were bigger, they would be more destructive, and it wouldn't be a good thing. But as they are smaller, maybe they have a reason to exist. Obviously, with all my speculation, I I don't see a long future for human being. I'm sad to say, at least in our current ways, um, where I guess I'm just cynic or something, but I don't think human being with all of our achievement and greatness, I don't think we were meant to exist for a long time. I think we were there to try something new, and now Mother Nature is like, okay, well, this something new was a big mistake, so let's try to not do that again. But yeah, watching ants evolve in my little enclosures, I really am peeking at I don't know, the great scheme of things, I guess. Maybe it's just ants also. Maybe I'm trying to see something more than there is, trying to make an idea more complex than it used to or need to be. But I don't know, I just find it interesting. That's one of the big reason why I spend so much time just observing ants. Also, one big thing about ants that I've noticed is how much motherhood is important to a society. Because earlier on, in this summer, I guess, when I captured many worker ants and I placed them in my first ant enclosure without a queen, without eggs to take care of, and without larvae to feed, all of the ants put in this like nutritious gel, they were very unactive. They were extremely lethargic, and the moment they did their little hole in the gel, they stopped working. They were just chilling there, waiting for their own death. So without a sense of purpose, I think life doesn't, and especially for ants, life doesn't mean a thing. Without eggs to take care of and without a future generation to teach, I think ants are completely lost. And this is why I released those worker ants before. And this is why I set up my quest of finding a queen. It's because I couldn't bear the sight of watching an entire civilization just sitting down and doing nothing with their life. I tried to, I actually placed some other species of ant in that gel farm just to have some action. So by the way, I was like picking some, like there was already a war of ants going on. So I took some of the injured one and I placed them in that gel farm. So these that were already doomed to die would die a quicker way, serving the purpose of giving a purpose to my ants that were in the jail farm. But I assume that was quite unright, and these ants in the jail farm, they weren't behaving like ants. They were behaving like almost just little robot that had done all their function and that couldn't do anything else. Compare these ants that were doing nothing to this colony right here, where the queen and her two first workers are behaving a lot and helping each others, doing mindless tasks all day long, but taking a lot of time and care, just preparing themselves to like serve the other generation. That really taught me something about ant keeping and just us in general, in the sense that without the perspective of a future, we are lost in a way, as much as the ants were lost. And I know I'm getting all philosophical over here with just watching three ants. One of them just cleaning the butt of the queen, but it is something amazing. It is something that I want to share with the world. My passion for ant keeping, a passion that I had in me for a long time, but that I'm only truly experiencing for the first time now. Now that I'm rising my or rising. Anyway, now that I have a new ant queen and her first brood, this is something spectacular. And it might not seems like this for many of you guys, just passing and going in my day-to-day life, but really what we are seeing right now is a work of miracle. If God exists or if evolution is real, and this is the product of all of this time on Earth, well, I am glad to see this, and I'm feeling more alive by the day just watching these ants. And I kind of have a new sense of purpose watching these ants, way more, dare I say, than when I watch my fish. When I watch my fish, I see a beautiful animal in a box of glass that are interacting as they should in nature, but in a smaller setup. And I kind of see the behaviors between like just creatures following each other's for safety. But there is not this greater bond that these queen and her two worker have. In this case, I really see that everything these ants do is planned compared to my fish who are just in constant surviving mode. For the ants, it almost seems like they are working all their way to their life goal of just spreading their genes. And this is obviously, I think, one of the main purpose of life, to, make sure life continues beyond us. Um, but well, at least one of the purpose, obviously. If you don't want child, it's all right. I just think that in the greater scheme of things, a species is always trying to uh, first of all prosper, but also ensure that it continues to move on. And I think we have reached the peak as human being where we are not afraid of continuing to move on. We have reached a point where we have done it so well that we are now in danger of our own success. Wow, that was philosophical, I guess. Maybe everyone is like, "Oh my God, GN, you're just watching ants. Like, well, what's all of this all about? Can you just explain to us how ants work and stuff?" But I don't know. For this live stream, I really wanted to share this with you all. Um, and obviously, watching this queen ant actually bypassing the stage of like taking care of her own child and making sure that another colony of ant is actually able to take care of her own child. This is crazy. This shows that whatever I learn about ants, it's never more than just scratching the surface, because ants, they have the capacity to really surprise you every step of the way. Um, so yeah, if we are moving on to our new enclosure here, or rather our expansion of this enclosure, just let me give me 2 seconds. Um, so, okay, that's Queen Anne, obviously. But yeah. Now, if we are watching over here, what we have in here is a colony of Isopod. Lots and lots of isopods indeed. And so these creatures, their entire purpose in life is to eat rotten food, and they will eventually become food for my ants. So these are marvelous little creatures that once were creatures born in the ocean, and now they have decided to be a part of the land biodiversity. They're really amazing little creatures, really fun to capture and really easy to care for, and they are also very easy to breed. They don't require quite a lot, um, but obviously they are not as interesting as ants, but they are a good choice of pet if you want insect. Well, they are not insect, but they are crustacean. But if you want invertebrates, I would strongly suggest Isopod because, yeah, they are indeed a marvel to be discovered as well. And they are so easy to take care of. You literally just have to put soil and dead leaves, and I also feed them with some fish food. They love their fish food. And so, yeah, all you need is a bit of moisture and a bit of hiding space. And look at this, they are already eating a bit of the bark. So now that is very rather interesting. So we have some of the isopod hiding in the hole. We have a little baby over here compared to the big adult over there. I don't think even these adults are full grown, but they don't grow to be massive. So that is also a good thing. You can really keep a lot in a small enclosure. And they really enjoy the company of each others. They are a social creature too, just not the same extent as the ants, but they do feel more secure when they are amongst their um, species. Yeah. So, I wish I could show you all. By the way, that's cardboard. I wish I could show you all my fish room because there is a lot of things going on in the fish room, but I don't want to spoil you all the surprises. I have plenty of new stuff in basically all of my aquariums. Um, Things that might surprise you. Some of the fish I've sold, some of the fish I've gained. So I basically chose to do this shift of fish to ensure that I would have more peaceful aquarium, but also a bigger, I guess, a bigger range of species. Hello, ER. How are you? So yeah, I wish I could um, share my aquariums with you right now, but Emma, hello. So yeah, I'm not going to share my aquariums with you for this live stream. I'm doing a lot of project outside of my of this room, I guess, in my other fish room, and the fish room have had a big makeover as well. So I don't want to spoil too much. So we are going to continue to just observe the little creatures that I have in here, but make sure to be there soon. Paul is flying all over my room right now. But yeah, for all of you fish keeping lovers, you are in for a big three treat. Yeah. Sorry, sometimes I have difficulty with English. English is my second language, obviously. But yeah. Um, Sorry. I'm trying to figure out where I want this live stream to go on right now. What are your opinion on all I've talked about for this live stream? Are you excited for the new project? Are you excited about my ant keeping? Are you excited about discovering new stuff? I obviously have no idea what this third species of ant is, so that's a bit of research I will have to do. Also, are you all happy about my new, I guess, collection of ants? I have quite a lot now. I have many queens. I might release the Queen Margaret over here because, as I stated earlier, since she is a parasitic ant, and I don't have a big colony for her to basically parasite, I don't want her to die of starvation or anything. So this ant, it's the first time you see it and probably the last time, but I just wanted to share it with all of you guys. I thought it was really interesting. Also, a side note, Queen Elizabeth over here is not a smart ant. She had, like, if you all remember, I captured her kind of drawing, like she was in a water in my aquarium full of water, and she was helpless, and I almost see her die a first time. So I put her in this test tube, and a week later she had like, I guess, pulled this cotton ball that was way smaller back then, and she was drowning again in the safety of her own test tube. So this ant is trying to die, and I'm not sure why, but it's a fact. It's not a smart fellow, Queen Elizabeth the First. She is a beautiful queen, but she is also very dumb and clumsy. I don't know why. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Queen Mary over here. We don't really see her super well. Um, Let me try to have the light shine on. But yeah, she has a really red coloration, really beautiful, really stunning. Um, she's amazing. She's super nice and super duper active. Um, like too active. But yeah, so right now she's just wait. Let's try to have the other light over here. Ah, there we go. Now we can see her. Now that's a beautiful little queen, but always super active, always crazy. Um, I'm not sure when or why she haven't laid eggs yet, but I'm looking forward to it. And as you can see, she have a very big setup all for herself. She's a rather small queen, so I'm guessing she will be able to survive in this enclosure for quite a while. Now, one of the big questions most of you guys were asking me was like, how do you know when you see a queen like that it is a queen? And I actually figured out and draw for you guys a little sketch to in my very own handbook where I write all the things that happen in my ant colony. I've drew a little sketch over here to show you how to identify a worker from a queen. So the queen, the first thing, okay, you want to notice is the fact that she's like when you're going to find her a very new queen, she's going to be all alone and she's stumbling in the world and she just looks like she don't know where to go, and that's the fact. It's that like she remove her wings, she's ready to found her colony, but now she need to find a place where to found her colonies. So if you see an ant with wings, that's automatically either a male or a female, and the males, they're super tiny, they're like this tiny compared to the queen. So if you see a lot of flying ants, and you see big ants and small ants. The small ants, they are the queen, the king. They are not really useful to you anymore if they have breed with the queen. But if you find a queen, get that queen in a test tube. Paul is doing a lot of shenanigan on my desk over there. So another thing is, a worker. It looks small, it looks weak, and have long legs. A major worker, which is what we have in my colony. We have the first one. She was a sub minor, and now we have a minor. But the workers, they are super small. The soldiers, they have big heads, and the queen, they have a big butt. They have a big abdomen full of eggs ready to hatch. They have shorter legs than the worker. And one of the main thing, if you haven't figured out just watching at the big abdomen and the fact that the queen is always alone and stumbling and just they're not super ease outside. One of the big thing is also look at the thorax. So a worker thorax is really getting slim, almost like a um, I guess a drop of water. It start big and then it gets super slim. But a queen, the thorax is really round. It's chubby. It's chunky. It's full of wing muscle. And if you look close enough with like a device, um, like an hourglass or something, you can see her scars, her wing scars, and all of my queens. I made sure to test my theory on all my queens because I found them all without their wings, so I knew they were probably more likely to have mated, and they all have these four dots that are the scars of their wings compared to, and it's round also and chunky again. Like the queen ant, very chunky queen. Her workers, very slim, very small, very agile compared to her. So that's a big thing on how to correctly identify a queen compared to her workers, because some of the workers, they are almost as big as a queen. More than likely, the soldiers, they have big heads, big mandibles. They are made for fight. They are sturdy, they are strong, and it kind of is hard for a first watcher, or like someone not experienced in keeping. So some new people wanting to catch a queen, maybe they will catch either the workers or the soldiers. But watching my drawing, I hope you have memorized all of this. I'm going to quiz you at the end of the episode. Maybe not, maybe. But if you see an ant with a very big head, that's a soldier. If you see an ant with long legs and that are like kind of slim, that's a worker. If you see a very chunky, fat, slow, and just clumsy ant that is walking alone, that's more than likely a fertilized queen ant. And if you see a very small one that almost look like a wasp, that is a male. So if we come back to Queen Anne, all of my light is all screwed up. So as you can see, like Queen Anne compared to her worker, very, 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 very extremely super duper chunky. Look at her back over there. You can see the the scars. You can see them. So when I say check out the scars, I mean check out these holes right there in the back. Those are not ordinary holes. They're literally where she used to have wings, and she mutilated herself all by herself, removing these wings because it's not used to her anymore. But yeah, look at how round she is compared to her workers, and look how small her antennas are. Antennas, like these things, these things. Woo! They're super small compared to the workers. The workers have long antennas. I don't know how to pronounce this word, but you see, very small, very modest compared to these long antennas. Also, the queen is way more lazy. I'm not at first, but eventually they become super lazy compared to the workers that always want to work. Workers, they are made for building the nest, defending the nest, taking care of the children, taking care of the trash, taking care of bringing food, taking care of everything. While the queen, her main goal in life is to sit back, relax, and be pregnant. It is a weird lifestyle, a noble lifestyle, but yeah, I'm not sure how good it is to the body. Like, if it, I'm assuming it doesn't hurt as much as like human pregnancy. I rather hope for the ant that it doesn't hurt too much when they lay eggs, but their body is made to be pregnant. It's pretty wild, but it's pretty much what's happening. Yeah. While the workers and the soldiers, they are made for a very specific job in the colony, so you can kind of guess what job they do. For example, Antoinette, the ant on the far right, she's more than likely made to take care of the young, while the other one, she's also being made to take care of the young, but she also seems more robust. So that indicates us that she can do more tasks, more general tasks. While sometimes you want a very small worker to do very, very small tasks, and like gentler tasks. While the other one, maybe her main job is obviously protecting, taking care of the trash, but the other one is really like taking care of the children. But the two of them are really taking care of children's. Right now, what we are seeing is trophallaxis. The queen is feeding the worker, or the opposite, but anyway, one of the two ants is feeding the other one. They have two stomachs, one for regular digestion, and the other one, as I mentioned, it's like a mini fridge in your own belly when you can store food and share with friends. It's the social stomach, the gaster. So very amazing, very cool, very very developed society. I will say it is um, amazing. I get super enthusiastic watching ants. I don't know if you are, but I know for sure I am enthusiastic watching ants. Look at my face. I've been watching ants for an hour now with you guys, and I'm super happy. I never run of stuff to talk about because ants, they always do something crazy, something different, something new. You think you have discovered them all, and then boom, they do something out of the blue that you're like, what? I never knew they could do that. I never knew they were so well designed. It's crazy. How could you expect such a thing from a small ant? But when you're watching them for long enough, you discover plenty of things. You're like, whoa, I never knew all of this. I never knew watching ants could become like a philosophical class with Bob, with GM. What? But yeah, sometimes it happens. Sometimes I like that. Sometimes I really enjoy deeping and diving down in human society by watching ants because we are connected in a weird way. We might not all want to admit it, but obviously, let's say it, let's face it, human being, we are inferior to ants. I'm saying it. I'm saying it out loud right now. Ants are our master. We are not controlling ants, they are controlling us. Da-da-da-da. Conspiracy theory. Um, so yeah. Also, I wanna show you all my isopods a bit more. They're so cute. They're so cute. Let me let me show you the isopod a little. So oh, this ant have fallen. Oh no. So yeah, let me just readjust the thingy thing. Pro streamer 2021. Oh yeah, I am the best streamer you will ever see. Oh god, I'm almost making all my ants fall on the floor. That would have been a disaster, right? So, yeah. Where are we? All right. So yeah, look at them. It's so cute. It's so round. And let me try to zoom out a bit so we can see a bit more. Look at this. Look at these all amazing creatures. We have a big beetle right there. It's so cool. So what I've done is I basically capture most of the creatures in my vivarium outside and place them all in this jar. But yeah, look at them. How can you not enjoy that? That is so cute. It's like catching Pokemons, but if Pokemons were cool. Haha. Ha! I just trigger half of my audience right now, I'm assuming. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, look at them. They're so cute. They're so amazing. Look at this. They are all just chilling there, living their best life, while we have to pay tax and, you know, constantly fear for our future. They are just munching on wood. Now, you think humans have achieved great things, but at the end of the day, we all just want to be isopod. I know for a fact. Oh, look at this. Right there, we have discovered, right there, right there. You know what that is? That is the molt of an isopod. I know you cannot see it really well. Oh, no, actually, you can, because I'm the best cameraman you will ever see. But yeah, this white stuff was the exoskeleton of isopods. They grow like this. They're not like us. They have their entire skeleton outside, and they're like, haha, when I need to grow, I just remove myself from my skeleton and rebuild a new one. Now, talk about wasting resources. A lot of credit have been done to human being like, haha, you're the best species at wasting stuff, but we don't waste our entire skeleton away. Huh. Now that's stupid. Mm, isopods. They're like the shrimp of the land. Look at them all. Have you ever seen something more remarkable than this? You are lying if you say otherwise. I know. They look like nothing right now, but eventually they all are going to dominate the world and eat you. I'm doing like 2022 prediction. Isopod will come into fashion once more, but this time they will basically start to rule the world. I'm saying it. I'm saying it now. Yeah, I'm saying it now. If you think I'm lying, think again in a few years when you are going to remember watching this live stream. You will remember that I have predicted the end of the world by the isopods. These are our lords, these are our kings and emperors. They are the true ruler of this world. I am claiming it right now. I am only but the one spreading the words of the isopod god. They are going to take over all of us. Yes. Who is still watching this live stream? Let me know. Do you have all any questions so far? This was a very weird and random live stream so far. I did not plan to do a live stream. It's just that I don't know. I wanted to. I had a lot of stuff planned. Why the isopod? Why not? These isopods are amazing. They are food for my queen Anne and all the other ants. But yeah, those are so beautiful. Look at them. They're so interesting and entertaining to watch. Um, and look. When I flip this bark, there are many hiding under there. Ta-da! Surprise! We have so many isopods. Woo! Fun. So yeah, this entire jar was supposed to like evolve and have different species of plants growing. But what happened is my first species of plants, which was grass, it all just grew up. It was super cool for 1 week and then it all died. So then another species of plant was starting to grow, but then I had access to all of this moss. Yeah. So I decided to just skip over everything, just put a lot of moss, a lot of dead bark and dead leaves, and allow isopod to grow like crazy in here. And look at them, they're thriving. So cool. Really interesting, really entertaining, really easy to keep, as I said. You don't need much more than this. They are surprisingly in love with fish food, and that is rather interesting. I never expected Azapod to actually like fish food until I tried it, and um, let me tell you something, they are crazy for it. All right, now let's start talking about like creatures a bit less disgusting than Isopod and stuff. Let's check out Paul and what he's been doing for the past few minutes and hours. Are you scared of me? What are you doing? So yeah, this is Paul, my laughing dog. And suddenly all the people watching the stream are like, oh my god, finally a cute animal. So yeah, this is my laughing dove, and she is very, very interesting and entertaining as well. Very friendly too. Come on. Oh, she really don't want to go on me. No. All right. So yeah, this is Paul. Very beautiful creature, indeed. I really like that bird for many reasons. And this is Paul cage. So a lot of branch that she can go outside. This is Dean watching over Paul. Hello. Drink some water, Paul. Yes. Splash. Do the splash attack, Paul. Come on. No. But yeah, so Paul is a very nice bird. As you can see, she goes outside. Oh, she's splashing. Come on, continue, continue. Be entertaining. But yeah, so my God, my voice is so rusty. I'm sorry about that. So yeah, Paul is a very cute bird. Very fun and interesting. Very low requirement as well. Very very friendly too. Like it's one of the best pet bird you can have. It doesn't bite. It doesn't scream at the morning, and you don't even have to clip the wing of the bird. I hate the concept of clipping the birds of the wings of a bird. Um, I think it's just unnatural. But you don't, for people who clip the wing of the bird, you don't even need to do that with a dove, especially with Paul, because they're not good at flying and they don't fly long distance, at least in captivity, because they're kind of clumsy, I guess, and they exhaust themselves fairly quickly. So if you want to catch it back, it's pretty easy. It doesn't go for a long period. So yeah, right now Paul is taking a little bath with water. Yeah. So it's super fun to keep, and also it's extremely cheap to keep. Like it doesn't eat a lot of food, and the food it eats, oh, that was cute. The food it eats is just the smallest seed you can find. So again, the less expensive seeds. So all of these are a good reason to have a laughing dove as a pet. So yeah, that is Paul cleaning herself. We also have like a bath, a real bath for her, but there's like a mirror, and I don't think Paul really likes the mirror so much. Hmm. So yeah, again, that's most of my animals apart from my fish, or actually all my animals apart from my fish. Um, One thing I really like about Paul is also the fact that, as you can see, really easy to pick. It's not shy whatsoever, and really friendly, and very curious as well. That was the setup I used to for filming my ants. So as you can see, my camera was on this box and stuff, so I filmed with those two lights and thing. But yeah, that is Paul. Oh, and that is Paul sneezing. So again, a super friendly bird. Um, Not aggressive at all, at least not with humans. She really hates her little bird toy, but that's another story. But yeah, as you can see, um, she's really in, like, how can I say that? She really is easily entertained, and she entertains me quite a lot too. So it's a great mix of a very easy animal to take care of. So yeah, they say that when a bird is cleaning itself on you, especially her tail feathers, that means she's trusting you. So as you can all see, I have gained the trust of my dove. I really like how they are all puffing their feathers like this to clean. Woo! It is super cute. A great choice of pet. And now I'm guessing because I have pet her a little, now she's just trying to find a way to fly. Yep. And she's on my desk. So yeah, again, she do have the right to fly, but as you have seen, it's not a super like quick flight, so it's very easy to see where the bird goes, and that's why that's one of the reason why, of course, we got her. It's because it's my first bird, and it's a very nice beginner bird. It doesn't require a lot of toys like a parrot would do because, let's face it, um, doves, they're not as smart as parrot, and they are not as in need of activity to do as parrot. Parakeets, they have big beaks and a big brain because they have a harder time to get their food. So they need to have developed special skills in the wild to be able to feed upon like the big nuts and stuff that they eat. But a dove like this, it doesn't need to do quite a lot to feed in the wild. They just need to spend a lot of time flying great distance to reach their seeds, which are like grass seeds. So, you know, this means they don't need to be as smart as parrot to feed, and thus in our captivity they don't need as much toys. In fact, what she is doing right now, grooming, is one of the main activity that a dove will do, apart from searching food. So, yeah, it doesn't do a lot in captivity and in the wild. I've tried to like pick on stuff that I could add to my apartment to accommodate this bird more. But apparently, apart from space and a place where to perch, they don't really require a lot of things. So I'm allowing her to basically free realm in this room whenever I'm here. And when I'm not here, I put her in her cage. Now, she used to be able to go in most chamber of my apartment, but at one point she ate dirt from one of my flower pot, and like yeah, she got really sick eating the uh, I don't know how to say it, but like, you know, in soil sometimes they put enrichment to make the plant grow faster, but this bird eat that little ball, like white ball, and it got really sick. So now there is no more plants in this room. But whenever the bird escaped to another room, we either check her out really much so she doesn't eat in any like anything she's not supposed to, or we take her back in here. Now she have few spots that she really enjoy in this room. One of them is my lamp. Another one is obviously here. That's not supposed to be there, but you know, we have placed some seeds over here. So as you can see, very small seeds. That's what they eat. She likes to chill over here where they have a lot of sun. But today, though, today there's not a lot of sun. She enjoy spending time on our shelves. And sometimes she goes up there, but she doesn't have the right to go up there. But sometimes she is just chilling on these ventilation system, and we don't want that. She also like to go on our little chairs everywhere, especially this gaming chair that we found literally in a dumpster. She really liked that. She really liked to poop everywhere, don't you? Huh? You like to poop on everything that is beautiful in this world. But yeah, that is Paul for all of you guys. She's a clumsy yet lovely bird. Like most of my animals, actually. Clumsy yet lovely. That describes most of the creatures I keep, including, I guess, myself. Your animals looks like you, I guess. Oh, did you pooped? Oh yeah, you pooped. Yep. My God, you're going super violent against your own feathers. What you doing, girl? You're almost falling, bird. What you doing? You're clumsy. You're so clumsy, bird. Hmm? So yeah, if we come back to this part of the room, um, and I guess I'm going to wrap up the live stream after this part, because I've streamed for like 1.5 hours, 1.25 of an hour, and I am running into lack of stuff to talk about if I'm not talking about my fish. Um, but yeah, if we look at my my little journal, as you can see, we have done quite a lot of pages on Queen Anne. So that's the first birth of the first worker and stuff. But yeah, ever since the 26th of August, there's quite a lot of things that have happened in like a week span. But after this very exciting week where I captured all the queens and where the second worker have arrived and stuff, after this, right now, as you can see, from 7 to 13 of September, I really haven't spent a lot of time on my ants because they have been steadily doing nothing. So it's hard, I guess, to create more content on my ants right now because I'm watching them grow, but the growth is very slow. And that is obviously a good lesson of humbling myself and taking time to enjoy the little things. But damn, does the little things take a lot of times to happen, my God. But yeah, I hope all of you guys enjoy my crazy shenanigans. Um, at this point of the stream, I really want to talk about book review. I'm going to do a book review on The King of France. So during my time watching my queens and stuff, I have also been studying a lot of history, just in general, because I like history. And I came across this book, and this is a very, very fascinating book. Now you might say, oh, but you don't have the book about the King of England, but all of your Queen Ants are Queens of England. Well, ha ha ha. Guess what? Oh my God, I dropped one of my books. Guess what? I also bought a thing about the Kings and Queen of England, so I'm also going to do some research. It's just I haven't had time. And one of the big thing I like about these two books is that in like the resume of this book, The King of France. It's all like, oh, look at the glory and look at the prestige of the life of ancient kings and queens that rule France. And then when you watch the resume of the uh, king and queens of England, instead of being like, oh, look at the glory of these kings of England, it's like, in this book, you will discover how kings and queens of England have made massive bloodshed. You will discover how they have done revolts and how they were monstrous to their and like terrible to their people. You will learn a lot of outrageous things. You will learn a lot of disgusting stuff about the and conspiracy about the dark secret of the king and queens of England. So it's I don't know. It made me laugh to see that like kings and queens of France was held into such high prestige and in a similar book, but about the king and queen of England. My God, this country was built over a lot of plots and treasons. So, as a little history buff as I am, that was fairly interesting. I also got a queen, not a queen, but a book about Queen Elizabeth the Great, which is one of the queen I have, the one that is always trying to drown herself in my little test tube. I have a book about her. And I also have a book about my all-time favorite, yet crazy and freaking like not a good king, but the epiphany of the word king, Henry VIII. Oh yeah, this fat chungus. I have a book about him. I think he is by far the most like savage and like memeable royal person I've ever seen, and I'm super hyped and happy to have discovered this random book. So I'm going to read it at one point or another. Um, but yeah, all I want to do right now is flex about the fact that I'm an history buff and that I have cool books in my shelves. Um, Let me check out another book that I really find cool and I want to see more. Check it out, check it out, check it out. The War of the Roses. Now, in this book, we discover a very historical event that is just amazing. So amazing that the author George R. Martin, yes, the writer of Game of Thrones himself, have inspired most of his books on this very war, the War of the Roses. I'm so glad to have this in my possession. I will be able to read that. I'm not sure if you all know it by now, but I am a very big Game of Thrones fan. I have a little pop-up dude that is like Jon Snow. I have a mug stating I drink and I know stuff. Yes, like Tyrion Lannister. And look at this. I have the original books. I have the original books, but in French, and I have the original books, but not original. The one with like drawing inside, and I have like Fire and Blood. I have the Knight of Seven Kingdom, and I have the World of Fire and Ice. So yeah, for all of you guys who don't know, I am a big Game of Thrones fan yet. I am a big Game of Thrones fan. And so yeah, I'm really, really excited about reading the books that inspired Game of Thrones. Because Game of Thrones, very smart in the sense that it is super accurately portrayed. Also, I want to brag about one last book. This monstrosity of a book, which is so big. Okay, so if I sit back here, look how massive this thing. It's about castle, but look, it's so big. It's super big. It's so big I cannot even fit it completely in the frame. So yeah, I have that. Other rich YouTuber, they flex about money. Well, I don't have that. I have knowledge. What is better, money or knowledge? I will say money, but I don't have money, so I have knowledge. And I prefer knowledge over money, guys. I prefer knowledge, yeah. Look at me, I'm so smart. I have so many books and so many bugs. I have everything a man should hope for. I have books. So many books, you cannot even count them all. I have so much books. Look at them. Look at this. I have books that I don't care about anymore. I have like Star Wars books. I have like comic books. I have like major fantasy books. I have Game of Thrones books. I have weird manga about Naruto books. I have, well, that's not books, but anyway. And then look, I have more books, and that's my big collection. This is the collection that I really like. This is the books about history. So when I flex a fact about history, know that all of this is my reference. Oh yeah. And I have a sword, but I have books too. And look. I have Chinese English Three Kingdom book. Do you have that? Do you have the Iliad? Do you have the Iliad? I do. I do have the Iliad. Do you have the Iliad? I do. Did I read the Iliad? Not yet, so I cannot brag about having the Iliad yet. But I do have the Iliad. Do you have a book about all the movement of all the race and people going through medieval time with some crazy maps? I do have this. Do you have that? I don't think so, but I do have this. What am I flexing about? I don't know. This is why my live stream don't last this long usually. But yeah, if you have a like this live stream, well, like, come on guys, maybe do a like for this dude. Do a like. Comment, subscribe, and I will see you all real soon with update on the fish room. And also, what? Merch? Are you saying merch? Do I have merch? You will have to see in a next episode. Goodbye, friends. And yeah. Goodbye. Wait. Oh my god, I forgot how to. Oh yeah, there you go. Goodbye. I forgot how.